Rich Paul, of course, the man behind the King, and now others, as prominent an agent as you have in the NBA. But how did he go from humble beginnings to becoming one of the most influential people in sports? We take a closer look.
Here in this neighborhood, it's not a matter of years. It's a matter of minutes to the hour to the day. In a day, your whole life can change. Sometimes you heard bullets flying, you heard people running. You know, you would kind of like peek out, you know, kind of, and then come out. It's like, okay, it's cool. How do you make it from here? How I make it from here, who knows?
You've arguably become the most influential person in the NBA because of the clients that you have. We all wonder, like, how did you get here?
By not taking the money.
So what you mean, you didn't sell out?
Not so much as sell out, but just not being enamored by the money and being more focused on the position and making change in something you actually believe needed change. My dad owned this building. It was a store, but at the same time, it was a store mixed with a school, too. 8, 9 years old, I was running the number machine, sweep out in front of the store, shovel snow. It's just very educational for all of us. I couldn't be the person I am today without this block right here. I definitely couldn't.
Your industry, in terms of agent representation, you seem to be coming in doing it 180 different.
Yeah, because I was them. When I'm representing a player, you know, I know what they've been through. So when I'm in a negotiation, it's not just for me. I'm fighting for the well-being of this young man and his family. Because, you know, when you understand where they come from, it puts things in perspective. You know, it's easy to represent somebody from afar and not have to understand what they went through. And it's not just, oh, I'm your agent. It's, right. I understand life. I understand opportunity costs, you know, in life. And the decisions I had to make at 11 and 12 and 13 wasn't like slaps on the wrist. A lot of people can say, yeah, I know, but you don't know if you didn't go through it. You really don't know. Another day.
You have several clients. I have seen a noticeable difference in John Wall since you started representing him.
Well, before I started representing John, I called him and I told him, I said, man, you know, what's wrong? You don't look like John Wall. We had a very candid conversation, and I always had a conversation with John because I cared. You know, I'm just always been that type of person. If I see something, I'm not going to hold my tongue at the end of the day. Well, because I think it's too many people around these guys that's holding their tongue.
You taking risks by telling guys what they're not doing right.
And that's fine, but the risk I took prior to that is much more detrimental than these risks.
But
these ain't risks.
You can lose a lot of money. You can lose a lot of money. You can lose a client. You can make an enemy just by not telling people what they want to hear. Why?
But I also can make a better person too. And you know, again.
You said better person, not player.
Person.
Why?
Because they people first. I get more out of it, you know, seeing a guy like Eric Bledsoe with his kids and having structure and having stability. He didn't know he can go to the NBA and actually get drafted, and he just played the game that he loved to play. And his mom was a single mom, strong woman, who was like a sister to me today, and we all grew together.
Yeah.
You know, when Eric came out, they stayed with me, his whole family. His sister had her first child in Cleveland.
You know, the way you doing business is different.
Yeah, because it's not just business.
So here's the thing I find the most intriguing about you, is that you are always a forever learner.
Know what you don't know. I just think that's so important in life and in business. So things that I'm not great at, I don't try to do. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I don't know it all. But you know what? I couldn't do it without the people that's with me every day.
LeBron, Randy, you know, Mav, like all of you have, you know, you've beaten the odds in such a, you know, crazy kind of way.
Yeah, we have. Today, we all have our separate businesses.
Yes.
You know, but it also starts with a guy like LJ who in his position wouldn't believe that the people around him can actually carry out and make smart business decisions. And the reason why that was like that is because the narrative was always out there that those people can't do it. Someone can give you center stage and the mic, but if you can't sing, then
Yeah.
the crowd gonna boo you.
Yeah.
People think my guy made it, I don't have to do nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's wrong. The fact that he made it means you have to do even more.
I want to talk about free agency, and you've negotiated some of the wealthiest contracts in the NBA.
The biggest thing is your client really understanding what's realistic and what's not. Because there's a lot of outside noise, man. There's a lot of people that become GMs, and everybody's different, you know, and I always just want to do what's best for the client. That's my thing. No one thought Tristan was worth $82 million when he signed that deal.
But you did.
Damn right I did. If you evaluate usage rate and take his ability to offensive rebound and have extra possessions and take those second chance points and apply that to Tristan, because they originated from him.
You threw some mustard on the hot dog.
But the opportunity cost
Yeah.
of not having a Tristan Thompson is the 52-year drought in Cleveland. What is that worth?
Yeah.
Way more than 82.
Yes.
We married. If you're not willing, then I can't perform to the best of my abilities. But if you're willing, then you know we can do some things. So we've been able to have some success. At 9, if you would have told me I would be in the position I am in today at 9, I wouldn't believe that. Money come and go, you know. They print it every day. But if you have integrity, if you have work ethic, if you have the ability to execute, then you can get the money. Not worried about the money. We don't chase the money. You know, you do what's right, and at the end of the day, there's always gonna be some people with more money, there's gonna be some people with less money. You're not taking none of it with you. Nothing has ever come easy to me or my family. You know, it's always been that. That's been the mentality all the time. Blue collar, get it the best way you know how. And you learn those survival skills, and those survival skills help me today.
If you didn't already respect this story, you have to, watching what kind of went behind it. And Billy, this is a guy, and he said it right there. People always wanted to believe it wasn't possible. These are just LeBron's friends. He's become as influential as anybody in the sport.
Well, the great thing, an opportunity was there. He walked through the door and took advantage of the opportunity. A lot of guys get the opportunity, the door's open, and they don't take advantage of it. So he's proven himself, and he can pick up the phone and call anybody in this league.
When you meet somebody, you try to show who you really are, to build that relationship. That's what he's done throughout this process now. And now he's going around teaching people that, hey, if you have this so-called group you're hanging around, go educate yourself. And I think that's what all LeBron James guys have done around him, educate themselves, improve themselves. Now they're doing good business.
You know, the other thing is, and you saw it in the piece that Showtime did on Ben Simmons, this is a people person. He talked about in the piece with Eric Bledsoe. But Eric, you got to know numbers. You got to understand finances. This is a very, very smart guy to be able to do what he's doing.
It's business, right? If you have a feel for it, the numbers are great. Anyone can learn numbers, but you got to learn the feel of human interaction, people. How does this work? How do you relate to people? How do you, can you play poker, right? You have to understand the game, because there's a game within the game. This is what basketball is all about on the floor. All that's happening right now, this is the game. It's happening right now. Free agency. So he's a player, and he's earned his role.